What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. We're going to be talking about Jimmie Johnson failing post-race inspection. We're also going to talk about the situation with Denny Hamlin and the ballast problems. Let's start off with the Jimmie Johnson incident. As I just mentioned at the beginning of the video, at about 2 a.m. last night, Jimmie Johnson failed post-race inspection. He goes from finishing second to 40th, and the issue was a rear alignment problem. He is only the second driver since we started the failing post-race inspection changes in 2019. Because he failed post-race inspection, Jimmie Johnson goes, like I said, from finishing second to 40th place. After what it seemed like a promising run and a potential to win, Jimmie Johnson also goes from being 11th in the points to 15th in the points as well. Let me just say this. It is a really great shame because Jimmie Johnson, it just seems like in his final season, he can't catch a break. He has a great car at Darlington, and he spins out kind of on his own, to be honest with you. He looks like he's going to have a good year, and he just seems like he can't catch a break, man. He had a decent run at Darlington last week, and it looks like he has a winning car last night, and then it turns into crap because Jimmie Johnson has an issue with the rear alignment. The rules are rules, I guess. But, man, for Jimmie Johnson fans, it seems like he's cursed. Because every time it seems like Jimmie Johnson is going to have a great day in his final season over the last few years, because his luck over the last few years has really not been that great. I hope that Jimmie Johnson season can turn around. Maybe he can go out and win Wednesday night's race. But let me just say this. Even though Jimmie Johnson finished 40th, he's got a really fast car. I think did something breaking in the car? It's like a rear alignment issue or something broke in the car. Jimmie Johnson, I think, will have a very fast car when we do go racing this weekend. And not this weekend. I think the next 2 weeks he's going to be really strong. He's been fast. The Hendrick cars in general have been fast. I just feel like they've been cursed this year, man. How many races Hendrick Motorsports cars could easily won this year? Like 4 or 5 races this year? It's just like Jimmie Johnson cannot catch a break. He's the one driver out of that team. Same with Chase Elliott. Him and Chase Elliott could honestly have wins right now on their plate. But they haven't been able to win just by bare luck and just struggling this year. I just hope that they don't have any more issues. And why is it that this team that cannot catch a break, the whole Hendrick Motorsports organization, Jimmie Johnson almost wins the pole for the race. He goes and qualifies second, and he passed inspection there. I guess during the race something broke. I really don't know. But because of this, like I mentioned, William Byron is now going to be the new pole sitter for the race since Jimmie Johnson goes back to 40th. The front row will be William Byron and Alex Bowman. And like I mentioned, Jimmie Johnson will go back to 11th, from 11th to 15th in the points. So he still is currently in the points, still in the championship and in the playoffs right now. But let's hope he gets higher up in the standings and doesn't have to worry about it. Hopefully he can get a win before the end of the year because he deserves to get a Cup Series win before the end of 2020 in his final year. And I don't think that last race at Phoenix will be his last race, but I think it'll be his last race as a full-time driver. Because I do think he'll come back next year and run a few races, but I'm not sure. I just hope Jimmie Johnson can turn around because, man, he can't catch a break and he failed post-race inspection again. Like, why? Why can't he catch a break? And now we get into the final story of this episode. Speaking of drivers having issues in inspection and on the racetrack, if you watched the beginning of the race, before the race even happened, I mentioned at the beginning episode of the race review as well, Denny Hamlin had a ballast issue on the car. Part of the tungsten of the car, which is also known as the ballast, came on the racetrack. And because of this, Chris Gabehart, Brandon Griffith, and Scott Simmons, Chris Gabehart being the crew chief, Brandon Griffith being the race chief, car chief, and Scott Simmons being the engineer, have all been suspended for 4 races. In the rulebook, if you have a ballast or a tungsten problem, you are going to be suspended for 4 races. Now, people ask, does it seem like a harsh penalty, doesn't it? Well, if a ballast falls off the car onto the racetrack, it can not only damage somebody's car, but it can severely injure another competitor in the race. It's a very big piece of metal. You saw how tough it was for that official on the racetrack, how tough it was to pick it up. It's a heavy piece of equipment. I believe a year or two ago at Michigan, the same issue happened with Ty Dillon. I think he hit like a piece of equipment and it basically tore through the car, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was Michigan in 2018, a race that Kevin Harvick won, which is like he's won back-to-back of these races at Michigan. But back to the situation, I'm not surprised. I saw this penalty coming. It does suck for them because of the weight issues in the car, But it is a very, very, very serious situation. And if that ballast does go on and hit someone's car, like I said, it could severely hurt somebody. It does suck. It seems like Denny Hamlin's just been on a roll, and then those issues happened before the race. Denny Hamlin ended up finishing 35th. I believe that's the only penalty. I don't remember. I don't know if there's a fine that's coming with that or not. I don't remember looking at the report. I might report that in an update later in this episode. But man, just I can't believe that we've had issues with drivers in this race. It just chaos in the race. Jimmie Johnson failing inspection. You got this issue with Denny Hamlin. It's just it doesn't seem real, that these issues can take place. You never know what's going to happen in NASCAR races. You can have issues like Denny Hamlin having a ballast problem inside a car, and then Jimmie Johnson, failing post-race inspection. It just blows my mind what's happened last 2 days. There wasn't much news to talk about, so I just wanted to get a quick video out today before the end of the day. So, yeah, that is going to be it for this video. Before I get to any episode, though, I have a big video that will be coming out here very, very soon. My 2021 NASCAR Drivers Predictions video will be coming out here in the near future. I don't know if I mentioned this in the past, but this is one of my big videos I've been working on. I'm hoping to have it out at some point in a week or two. It is one of my most anticipated videos on the channel. My silly season prediction video is kind of similar to Eric's. I don't expect there to be as many changes to the 2020 NASCAR silly season, but we'll talk about that here in the near future. So, anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on so you get notified when a video goes live on my channel. The support recently has been incredibly insane. We've been gaining subscribers at a lot faster rate. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on all my social medias, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links below that. And comment your thoughts on today's NASCAR news video. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.